Get back to some teams that struggled on Sunday. We do this every Tuesday. We're going to start with the Giants and talk about what went wrong for them. Jackson Dart said to put the blame on him after the loss.
I mean, it's not good, so got to cut that out. And I think that starts with me, just being a leader. I think just in those situations, I can, just talk to the guys in the huddle and, just them about, ball security. So, as a quarterback, I put those on myself.
Amina, what went wrong for the Giants?
Some of these are hard to diagnose. This one isn't. They turned the ball over on 5 straight drives. Slate fumbled, Dart fumbled, Scatabo fumbled. Dart threw an interception that was more of a punt, and then he threw another interception. They got to protect the football better. It was a team-wide issue for them. And New Orleans, on the other hand, didn't turn the ball over. They protected it well. Largely, that turnover differential is why they won the game and why New York lost.
Let's go to Miami next, where the Dolphins lost 27-24 to the Panthers. Here's Mike McDaniel after the loss.
I thought, we had a good plan. Thought we got some stuff fixed. We've known the issues we've had, and we thought that we're prepared for this, and clearly we weren't.
Dan, what went wrong for the Dolphins?
Tackling. The fundamentals of their defense broke down. You're talking about guys getting out of their gap. You're talking about poor angles, giving up huge explosive runs. It's the second straight week that this team has come out of halftime needing a big play and did not get it. And just the tackling and the angles that they played with in the run game were really bad. It was shocking to see that lead evaporate so quickly, and just because they weren't able to get Carolina's ball carriers on the ground.
Let's go to Baltimore, where it went from bad to worse as they played without Lamar Jackson and much of their starting defense. The Texans beat them 44-10. And then there's this. Baltimore has allowed more than 35 points a game this season, already allowing more points this season than the entire 2000 regular season when the team won the Super Bowl. They've struggled to stop the run and pass, giving up a league-high 13 touchdown passes this season. New on NFL Live, the Ravens making an addition to that defense today. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson will be part of their team. Marcus, this move impact things at all when you look at that Baltimore defense?
Boogie, it's so many issues. What it helps with is the injury. Obviously, Kyle Hamilton being out. You got Malachi Starks, who's a rookie on the back end. So Chauncey Gardner is going to bring some experience. He's a former Super Bowl champion and plays well. He's abrasive, and I think that's why he hasn't stuck with teams. But ultimately, the dude has made a tremendous amount of plays in this league, and hopefully he can bring his mentality on the field, and it can reignite the Ravens in some kind of way. But more importantly, it's just so many guys down and missing, and a safety that has shown to play well was available, and the Baltimore Ravens when it made the move.
Man, that's interesting. Maybe it does bring a spark to a group that certainly is not at full strength. All right, still ahead.
They need a spark.
Yeah,
they need fire.
They need a fire.
Not a spark.
All right, are the Chiefs in trouble?
For the most elite athletes, and Mike Tomlin knows this. Big fast people beat little fast people, Boogie. You know how often I say that, and that matters, and he understands that matters. And the teams with big dudes that are super athletic, they tend to use them a lot and have a lot of success.
I'm just going to say, I think Mike Tomlin's probably a big fan of big man balling. But by the way, who isn't? Because it's the best.
100%. Yes. Hello.
All right, time for some top stories. Some big news of the day. The Bengals trading Joe Flacco. And that means that Cincinnati will have him until Joe Burrow returns from his turf toe situation. That leaves Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders on the Browns roster. And as for Cleveland and their side of things, Flacco's departure officially moves QB2, Sanders to the QB2 spot. His dad, Dion, was asked about the trade earlier today. Here's what he said.
I don't care. I don't give a damn about the Browns at all. I care about the Colorado Buffalo. I do love me some Shedeur Sanders. Don't believe that. I care about him. The rest of that mess, I don't. Okay? I'm a coach trying to win just like they're trying to win games, but I could care less of who they traded.
Oh, all right. Well, Washington got Jaden Daniels back from injury, and maybe Terry McLaurin isn't far behind. This could be great news. They're on Monday Night Football next week. Coach Dan Quinn said he was optimistic for McLaurin returning to face the Bears on Monday night. The team has gone 1-1 during McLaurin's time away. In Minnesota, Carson Wentz was banged up has a sore left shoulder, according to Coach Kevin O'Connell. He left the game and came back into the game. O'Connell also said that J.J. McCarthy, who has a high ankle sprain, will return to practice this week. So let's talk about the Vikings offense. Marcus, how should they approach J.J. McCarthy's return from injury?
But yeah, we talk a lot on this show and we break down a lot of football. I just don't see how you can go away from Carson Wentz with the success that you've had. And I know he had the 2 interception game, but he used his legs in this last game against Cleveland. Cleveland defense is really good. For this team to be able to pull a win out, I think was significant, especially with Carson Wentz being at QB. We saw the day that Justin Jefferson had as well. And look, I know that they drafted J.J. McCarthy to be the future of this football team, but I also don't believe you can watch and think that you have a better opportunity to win with Carson Wentz and just throw caution to the wind and put J.J. McCarthy back in if he's not ready. Remember, these performances after the Chicago game by J.J. McCarthy were not good. He did not look good. He did not look ready as to be the starting quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings. I think Kevin O'Connell and this staff has much more to think about than just they took J.J. McCarthy in the first round and we reinsert him once he's ready to go based on what they've seen from Carson Wentz.
Yeah, it's a difficult decision, and I'm shocked to say that after 3 or 4 weeks. It's really the what do you want versus what do you want right now, because you obviously want J.J. McCarthy if you're in Minnesota to be the future. But Carson Wentz has played pretty good football, and there's a difference with how they've played. Like, I think the fundamental question, can you play faster than you did? Because that was the big thing for JJ, was he just was playing slow. And just look at like the metrics. Carson Wentz plays significantly faster on early downs. He plays relatively faster on 3rd down. He plays significantly faster in their play action game. In the drop back game under center, 2 seconds faster. And so my thing with JJ in this situation is like, does Minnesota think that those numbers will have been sped up when he's been rehabbing? You know, it's not like they gave him a break for 3 or 4 weeks. He's been rehabbing an ankle injury. Did he speed up his pace of play while rehabbing an ankle injury? That's the question.
I think they have to figure out, can he speed up his pace of play through playing? Or is it something that he's needing to do, that they feel like he has to work out on his own? And this is a young man who spent an entire year not playing.
I think he has to play. I think he has to play because you're not going to give him enough reps.
And I would do it for 2 reasons. 1, developmentally, it would be helpful. Actually, 3 reasons. 2, you have a coach with absolute job security in Kevin O'Connell. This is not like, we got to win now. Obviously, this is a contender team if they get decent quarterback play, but I don't think there's that pressure on him. And then the third thing is, I think when he returns to play, the situation is going to be better than what we saw in those 2 weeks when he did struggle. I think having Addison back, I was thinking about this watching the Browns. It's massive. The Browns, once, he didn't play the first quarter, I think he was benched. Once he was on the field with him and Jefferson, you saw them playing way more cover 2. I think that's going to open up things for the run game. Getting Donovan Jackson back on the interior. We'll see when Brian O'Neill comes back.